So welcome. I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for Your Transformation, Real People, Real Conversations, and Real Success. And today, just waiting to get Robert Evans live with me. Today's a great talk. And today, what it's really all about, it's about traveling. It's about transformation. It's about being exposed to more than the life that's immediately around you. And I've had the great fortune to have grown up in 5 different countries. As a result, I actually speak 4 different languages. And what it's allowed me to do is have a completely different perspective than the average person about life, about what's happening around us. And not that it makes me any better or worse than anybody else. But what's great is that I feel that I'm very open-minded, more accepting, more tolerant, understanding, curious about other people and what it is that they're doing in life. And so what's exciting about the talk today, and still waiting for Robert to get on air with us. Robert, if you're there, come and join me. There you are. So what's really exciting today about Robert Evans, just make sure your audio's okay. I'm not sure I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, good. What's
really exciting about talking to Robert today is something that I'm extremely passionate about, and that is traveling the world. We have a limited period of time that we're on this physical earth in this physical form. And, why not get the best out of it in whatever way and shape that happens for you? For me personally, it's going and seeing other countries, the beauty of the world around us, of people around us, and just simply expanding my life and my experience. And that's what Robert Evans can do for you, because he's created a program that is training people to organize their own international trips. So rather than having to wait for somebody else to organize that trip, you can organize your own in the way that you want to have that experience as well, and then bring a bunch of people that are like-minded with you on those trips and absolutely dramatically transform their lives. I've had the great fortune to have gone on 2 trips with Robert, and each of them have been so incredibly transformative that the very first one that I did with Robert to Ecuador was the one that actually launched my existence today. So, Robert, I really want to thank you for today.
Oh, my pleasure, Bart. Thank you for having me. I love hanging out with you on this.
Yeah, we've had some great times, great memories, and I know we're planning on creating a lot more. And certainly, my passion is to travel to as many people, as many places as it can with great people, and also help transform other people's lives. So share with us, who you are and what it is that you do.
Oh, let's see if I can do a short version of that. So I have been in the transformational training world for about 16 years now, and my work has primarily revolved around helping messengers, as I would call it, which I kind of categorize as authors, speakers, coaches, transformational leaders, and entrepreneurs who have a message that they want to share. My focus has been on helping messengers get their message out into the world. And I did that for many years and under 2 different companies that I built. And 4 years ago, I closed down a company that was really successful from a lot of different perspectives, and started a new company, which is the one that I'm doing right now. And it was the reason why I did that was because I found myself very unhappy with just the way I was living my life. I was spending about 90% of my time in front of the computer, and I wanted to be out in the world, experiencing life and seeing the world and making a difference, in person rather than just through the computer. So I started a company called No Regrets Productions, which is a film production company. And 3.5 years ago, I worked with a friend of mine and partnered up with doing a series of international trips, which is one of the things that she specialized in, around the world, where we would film and and feature messengers making a difference, sharing their message, and being transformed in the process of being in this country and doing the things that we had arranged for them. So we just finished up that project. It took 3.5 years to finish. The last part of that, the grand finale, as we call it, was our New Zealand trip, which Bart was on, of course, one of our team leaders. And, we just finished that. And when I came back, I knew that I had a lot of other work to do to finish the film project. And also I had been doing many, many trips over the last 4 years. Africa twice, Liberia or Ecuador, Costa Rica, went to Alaska with a group, did a project up in Oregon, a project in San Diego and New Zealand. And so I was just kind of at the point ready to pause starting and doing my next trip. Right. But I didn't want to stop that ripple effect that happens with these trips, Bart, as you know. So I decided that I would share my knowledge, my experience, and my successes and my failures, which I had a few on the road, and through a training to teach other individuals, mostly probably transformational messengers, how to create a 6-figure income, actually, creating, selling, running, and providing the experience of their own international trip. So that's what we're up to now.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that we had the opportunity to experience with you, Robert, and Sprite just joined us. Sprite Loriano from Sprite Loriano Global, is that whole humanitarian aspect of it as well. And she is an instrumental person in helping bring water solutions to the world with the water bearers. And that element, I thought, the humanitarian aspect is huge. We don't always get those opportunities to help others and contribute beyond ourselves, simply because that mechanism isn't there. But you and Sprite have been able to do that in such a wonderful way. And I know that's also an element for you moving forward with these international trips. So what are some of the specific logistics as far as, how people can, get into, the program, the training? What is it that they can look forward to? And some more details perhaps as to what their own personal experience will be.
Cool. Well, I think I'm really proud of the fact that what we've created on our trips is very unique and very different than most or even all of the offers that I've seen out there from other people. I mean, doing an international trip, bringing a group of people to a country to experience something is not a unique idea. I mean, the people have been doing it all the time, but there's usually a lighter element to that. And we've kind of created a formula around our trips. And this is, of course, what I'm going to be teaching in the program. And this is what I think makes the program very valuable, is that we created a formula that has different elements to it that a lot of places don't have. I mean, yes, we do have every single one of our trips has a give back or humanitarian element to it. A big part of our trips have been bringing these water filtration systems to countries that desperately need clean water. And we've done that. And I would say between our trips, we probably have served hundreds of thousands of people as a result of those water filters. But we've also raised money and built a school in Liberia. We, in a matter of 6 hours, one of our groups raised $20,000 for an organization that provided services to children that were in foster care, siblings that were split up, and they brought them back together at times, and we raised enough money to, we doubled our goal. So we always have this give back element that's really, really powerful and critical to, our mission. Our mission is not just to go somewhere and do something and have a fun time and network and meet each other and, whatever, do yoga and all that sort of thing. But it's to provide, it's to give back, it's to share what we have. And this is the key thing, Bart, and you'll know this. I actually just called you my name. Isn't that interesting? Robert, the key thing here, Bart, is that we also provided elements of our trip that that take people out of their comfort zone. And those are the moments that transformation happens the fastest. And they may be uncomfortable at the time, but the reflection on them afterwards is where the real transformation happens. As you know, in Ecuador and the Andes Mountain, and in New Zealand, when we were spending time with the Wataha Nation, sleeping in one room with 40 people. So it definitely the outside the comfort zone. So we think specifically of doing that sort of thing in order to create something that's out of the box and different than anybody else. And the other thing that we've done, I think that has been incredibly unique, is that knowing our clients, individuals that go on our trip, have a message to share. We've also set it up to where they will have an opportunity to share their message with the people in the country that we're going to. So we've always put on this 2-day event called Inspire, which Sprite is continuing to take on into the world. And it gives the opportunity for our participants to speak on an international stage, to do workshops, and to leave their message behind. So all of those elements, I think, has been part of our success formula. I mean, we've been very successful. 27 people on our trip to Liberia, 25 to Ecuador, 20 to Costa Rica, 35 to New Zealand. Those are big numbers for someone that's doing a trip. And a lot of people would just be happy to get 10. But our formula is what provides the value and the interest for people to be able to sign up for it. And, we charge, in comparison, sometimes we charge a pretty penny for it, but we deliver, 10 times the value in whatever we give in return. So that's what I'm teaching in this training. So I'm teaching that formula. I'm teaching what it takes to do that sort of thing, and why that's important, and what things that you need to do other than just the trip to provide ongoing value to the people that are going, and then then how to go out there and sell it. And I think one of the biggest things that one of the biggest values that I'm going to be bringing to this training, where a lot of people probably would go, well, I'm probably not right for this training, is that a lot of people think that they have to have some kind of network already established, or a list. The list envy issue of the transformational world.
Right.
I used to have a list. I had a list of 130,000 people at one time prior to this business. But when I shut that business down, I made a commitment not to do that anymore, because I'm chasing something. And we put 145 people in our trips without a single person on our email list. We never emailed people about this. So that's pretty cool. Anybody do this?
Yeah, just to recap, coming from my perspective and what my experience was, and I was just writing some notes. Number one, there's tremendous growth in a manner that you wouldn't otherwise experience if you just went on vacation with a group of people. And what I found remarkable, and it was very well said in New Zealand when we visited the Waitaha tribe, and one of the fathers said, you have to leave home to really find out who you really are. Because when you leave home, when you leave that environment that you're so used to, where you behave in the same way all the time, you don't have new experiences to go through. And so therefore you're not going to grow. And so going out to a completely different country, it's totally foreign with a lot of different people, and you're going for a 2 to 3 week trip, or it's just a week, depending on what your desire is. You come up with a lot of interesting experiences and challenges. And what I like, and this is what I said before about the trips that you organize, it's also done in a very, very safe way. And so, yes, there's challenges and new things. Yes, there's somewhat of a risk depending on how far you want to go, but all of it's done in a very safe way. And so that you're going to come home, but also you're going to come home with a whole new person and being transformed. And the other parts that I really enjoy was the contribution. Again, we all, get this spiritual high, if you will, and well-deserved when we contribute beyond ourselves. And it's something that we do need. It's one of our behavioral needs. And so what's important then is that to have a mechanism or vehicle by which you can contribute beyond yourself. And when you have somebody who puts it together for you and you get to do it, it then also invites you or inspires you to share that with others, get other people involved, and you just have this ripple effect. And that's one of the coolest things about that as well. And then another part of the trips that you've organized, what I really enjoyed, is that opportunity to speak your voice, to really start sharing your message, whatever that is. And it's different. It doesn't have to be a specific message, except for that it's your message and what you believe in, where you can be witness, you can be authentic, and therefore feel much more confident, if you will, with who you are, what your purpose in life is, what your identity is. And the nicest thing about all that, it gets captured on film. And I love the sizzle reels that you've created. I keep on watching them over and over again just to remind myself who I am. No, I'm just kidding. But the point is that you get to share that with other people. And then people get to see it, another part of you that you didn't know, or that they didn't know. And the final thing, for those who are wanting to organize a trip, it's another source of revenue. And you get to do the things that you want to do. You get to hang around a group of people that, are willing to get out of their comfort zone. And so they're kind of like-minded. They're willing to step out and take on that challenge. And so there's a really neat synergy that then is created with all these different people. And again, that opportunity to learn from them and create new friendships. So all in all, my first observation, if you will, on day 3, when I went to Ecuador with you, is that Robert Evans and Sprite Loriano, did not charge me enough. Uh-huh. And it was a pretty penny to pay, but it's the same amount that you're going to pay on any kind of given vacation. I can go to one of those organized vacations to New Zealand and spend anywhere between $8,000 to $10,000. And the prices can be in that range, anywhere between 5 and 10. And I'll be honest with you, the trip already by day 3 in Ecuador, and the same thing in New Zealand, was worth a lot more than what I was paying for. And so that is what people get to experience. And that's the gift that you get to give to others so that they now can have that for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been very rewarding. And just to watch, just like with you, to watch people realize what they've signed up for and how it's going to change their life forever. That's, of course, that's one of the big payoffs for creating a trip, is at the end is that when you get to see this and when you hear what people experience, then you go, I'm really happy that I took this on. But here's the thing. One thing that I'm forgetting to mention with the training is that I'm not a person in all my years that just does something, flat, meaning that typical. So when I say we do a training, it's not just, hey, let's get on these video training calls, which is what they are, and talk about it, and then I'll send you on your way and you create your trip. What I've done is I created within this training a real-time implementation of the training by the group that's in the training will actually design, create the elements. They will sell and they will run a trip to Costa Rica. So literally when you sign up for this training, you're actually also signing up to play a role or multiple roles in the creation and running of a trip to Costa Rica. And what we've also done is we've created that element of the implementation in a way that by selling the trip, each individual that's in the trip will be able to sell the trip a couple times to a couple different people. By selling the trip, they will actually be able to profit from it to not only cover their cost to go to Costa Rica, but also to ultimately that it'll pay for this training. So at the end, my goal is to actually teach people how to do this, give them a path for this not to cost them anything in the end, and also to get a free trip to Costa Rica. That's a huge value there, is that, look, sign up for this if you're serious about wanting to do this. If you want to add this to your business and create a significant revenue source for you because you want to travel and you want to transform people's lives in a unique way, then by signing up for this, not only will you learn how to do that, exactly everything that I know, I'm not holding back anything. I'm even sharing my failures and how that turned into success on my next go around. But you will also have the chance to be with this group on a trip with 20 other people in Costa Rica, and ultimately get it for free. I mean, shit. I mean, excuse my language, but how can you say no to something like that? Because it's possible. And so, if anybody wanted to actually understand that more, I'd be very happy to jump on the phone and explain that to them. It's really simple. Really
all they have to do is reach out to you, message you on Facebook, and I'll tag you on this interview as well. And I think what's also key for all this is that, for those people who are in the game of transforming themselves and other people's lives, whether you're a coach or not, doesn't matter. You don't have to be a coach. What's great about this is that it also positions you in a very, very unique way, because nobody else is doing anything like this. So in this manner, going on an international trip where there's a lot of guidance throughout the entire process, and also a lot of backup support, when you're out on your own, as well as additional elements that can be added to that, which is filming and everything else, is that you get to have an incredible experience in a different country, well organized. You meet all these new people. I mean, I have like 30 new friends, worldwide, which is absolutely amazing, that I otherwise would never have met before. A lot of them new best friends. And you're making a difference for so many other people, but you're also creating a very unique experience, not only for yourself, but for the people that you bring on your trip. And that really sets you apart from all the other coaches and all the other transformational leaders. And you're making it really easy for them to do that. So for people who want to be different, for people who want to go to the next level, for people who want to earn more money, for people who, I can go on with the list, for people who want more experiences and get, everything out of their lives, check in with Robert. He'll set you up. He's got the training program. It's incredibly affordable, and it'll be life-changing. And I'm certainly looking forward to learning from you as well, Robert.
Cool. Thank you, Bart.
So any last words, Robert?
No, it's funny when you say it can be affordable. I mean, I love that, because truth is it could be free. Right. I mean, that's ultimately, I think, the thing that I am bringing into this training is that opportunity to learn this, but to also go to a country and implement it. And then ultimately, in the end, even before you go on that trip, this costs you nothing. So,
or you're already making money off of it. So
exactly. So, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's funny that it's a matter of just really talking to people about it, one-on-one. Because when I do get on the phone and I explain it and what I'm going to do and how it flows and how it works and that sort of thing, people go, "Oh, I get it. This makes a ton of sense for me." So if that's something that people are looking to explore in their life, then just reach out to me and let's talk.
All right. Awesome. Well, Robert, thank you very much. And I'm Dr. Bart Rademaker, Prescription for You Transformation, real people, real conversations, real success, bringing to you new voices, new solutions, discovering the stuff that you didn't know so that it can make the real difference in your life, tapping into your authentic genius, living the life that you desire, and living life to the fullest. Robert, thank you so much. God bless.
Thank
and
you,
I will be back later on today with another interview. So thank you.
Yeah. All right.